Hello and welcome back to another episode of Are You Effing Serious? How you doing today, folks? My name is Tex, and with me is my homeboy, JC from Jersey.
What's up, people?
How you doing, pimp?
I'm good, man. Special spring break edition.
Spring break edition.
We're bringing the beer.
You know, for spring break, you got to go ahead and get
salute.
it right. So,
Salute.
we're going to get it.
There you go.
Mm-hmm. Just to let you know, it's for real. Got a little tequila, a little Mexican inspiration, as you know.
It's the other turned up episode.
So, you're going to get it right. Cheers, my friend.
There you go. That's crazy, bro.
Now, because of spring break, we know that a lot of people are off of school right now, or at least colleges, out of school right now, trying to get some downtime. Mm-hmm. So we know that a lot of people are doing some things. So we're going to go ahead and just tailor today's show, make it a little quick, about those particular things. So the first thing that we want to go ahead and talk about, again, is, some of the travel destinations that people are going to go to during spring break. Now, recently we talked about the Bronx, New York, being one of the safest places in the United States. I don't think too many people are going to be traveling there. But if you do decide to go there, I'm sure there's a lot of good sites that you can see.
Sure.
I can tell you Red Hook is not one of the places that you want to go. Just go ahead and throw that out there. But there are a lot of good places you can go ahead and see in the New York City area if you decide to go there. New York, Manhattan, slide out to a few places in Queens, Far Rockaway, big up right there, Another place that we're looking at is, a lot of people go out to Vegas. Vegas is definitely a good look, a good place to be, so on and so forth. Recently, a lot of reports and reviews have came in stating that Circus is basically one of the worst places to stay on the Strip when you go out to Vegas. How do you feel about that, JC?
Sad to hear. They say it's a cheap room. Mm-hmm. But a cheap room? What is a cheap room in Vegas? There's a lot of cheap rooms on the Strip. Come on, give us something a little more.
Definitely.
You're not the Luxor, you're not Golden Nugget. Give us something.
And the other side of it is, aside from it just being the fact that they're saying, it's cheap rooms, it's also the fact that, they're saying there's no attractions. And the thing is that when you get to Vegas, hate to say it, Vegas itself is the attraction. The people you see, everything, the buffets, the shows, all of that, the lights, the waterworks at the Bellagio. So when you go to Vegas, the fact that you get into a hotel on the Strip is really, the show itself. To expect there to be anything more just shows, how much of a douchebag you are.
There's so much other stuff anyway. They're known, if you're an adult, you want to go to the strip club.
Yeah.
You want to go see some shit. You want to see Jerry Seinfeld or Mariah Carey, the Blue Man Group, or the various thousand other forms of entertainment.
Right.
You have options.
Yeah, you definitely have
a lot of options on the Strip. Obviously, the adult entertainment is probably among the best.
Yeah, they're always giving out flyers.
But if you're not into that, if you want to bring the kids to see the Blue Man Group,
and again,
like
I said, for college students, there's plenty of stuff to do out there. So, if you go out there, definitely be safe. And as always, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. We also want to give a shout out, of course. A lot of people like to travel down to Florida, Panama City, Cocoa Beach. Some even make the trip as far down as Miami. And so, again, definitely a great place to go down there and spend. I myself have never spent spring break in Miami per se.
Yeah.
So, I really can't say exactly how that goes. Senior trip, we went down to Cocoa Beach and Panama City. But, it wasn't during college spring break. So, I can't say how good that was. Also, you're going to have a few people that also go down to Mexico. So, again, if you go down to Mexico again, you want to make sure that you go to Mexico.
Here you go.
You want to drink this.
We're going to endorse some Dos Equis.
And you want to drink this and that right there. These are the only three things that you want to drink when you're down. Bottled water, tequila, and some cerveza. Yeah. You don't want to have anything else down there.
Don't have motherfuckers touching the shit.
You have to turn it because we don't want to endorse it or anything.
Okay.
You want to go ahead and drink it because you don't want to drink the water and end up with a bad or serious case of Montezuma's revenge.
Nah.
But definitely you want to go down and have fun. Tijuana's fun, but again Cancun is more that spring break destination. Tijuana's more when you want to go ahead and cut loose and and really see some wild stuff.
Are they going to catch a donkey show in Tijuana?
What the hell is in Tijuana? You might not catch one in Cancun, but you can definitely catch one in Tijuana.
I believe it.
Oh yeah,
I'll go see some Mexican wrestling, then I'll go see a donkey show.
I can definitely
get some diversity.
You get some luchero in there. The midget one is the funniest one. The little midget wrestlers.
We get some midget wrestling. We get some mule action.
Mm-hmm.
Only in Mexico, people.
All right. Now,
Gotta have
well,
fun.
speaking of donkey shows, another thing that people do when they go on spring break is that they engage in a lot of reckless sex. So the thing that we want to go ahead and throw out to you from Are You Effing Serious is that please be careful in your choices. Please drink responsibly, of course.
Definitely.
And if you're gonna have sex, please, have sex, consensually, and also use protection.
Wrap it up.
Definitely condoms, spermicides, and all that other stuff. Your dental dam and other stuff, is gonna be good for you to use. It'll help you in the long run. It'll save your life, and that's something that we definitely are proponents of, because
Definitely.
you can't watch our show if you're dead, and we want you to watch the show.
And also, you don't want to catch AIDS in a one-night stand. Let's be real.
Yeah, but a lot of
It
people
still happens.
A lot of people, use that time to experiment when they go somewhere different.
Yeah,
having
they do.
threesomes and gangbangs
Wow.
and so on and so forth. So again, if that's your bag, again,
Gangbangs
make
and
sure you're doing it responsibly. People that or trust and so on and so forth, and have fun. Speaking of threesomes, though, we also have.
I know
a
where we're
report.
going with this.
Yeah. We actually have the report that Jenny Lee, who is Jenny Lee Pryor, which is Richard Pryor's ex-wife, basically is coming out and saying that everything that's coming out about Bill Cosby has been going on for years. Essentially, everybody knows it, and the people that know it and haven't been saying anything are basically like the worst people in the world. And that she's saying herself and Richard, have actually seen Bill participate in threesomes. So,
I couldn't believe when I heard that.
It does sound crazy, when you get the image of Bill Cosby and that thought of a threesome. It definitely does sound, a bit out there. I do got to say that.
When she said that her and Richard would be told stories about Bill and be in the same room with Bill having menage a trois. Well, I'm so used to clean-cut Dr. Cosby on The Cosby Show, Cliff Huxtable. I can't picture Cliff Huxtable in a threesome. I'm sorry. Maybe it's just I'm programmed a different way, but...
And the thing is,
I can't do it.
There is the possibility that it happened, but you also have to realize, Richard Pryor, wasn't the same himself. Part of this whole the story that's disturbing me is the fact that all this is coming out. Richard's not here to basically say anything for or against. So she's basically throwing Richard under the bus, and he's not here to defend himself.
That's true.
And so it's kind of like she's basically trying to use his name to add more implications.
Let's just say he was alive, and he said, "Yeah, it's all true."
But at the same time, you also have to realize that, Richard Pryor and how he got down and stuff like that. It's expected that he participated in stuff like that. So for him to say it's true, it's like, well, if he's there in those situations doing those things, and if Bill Cosby there, then, it does, tend to lend a bit more credibility to the source.
I don't want to throw Cosby under the bus like we did a skit about him. We had far fun, but I don't hate the guy. I hope, now the body count's about 40 women. There are actually 40 women out there claiming that he did something inappropriate. I wasn't there. A lot of these things happened before we were born. That go on until about the year 2004. I'm like, this guy never been in trouble for none of this?
And that's my big thing right there.
It's just weird.
Is that if there's any truth to these particular allegations, I believe that something would have happened by now.
Yeah.
I believe that somebody would have came forward at some point in time, and that either he would have been charged, they would have been able to find some evidence of payoffs or something to that effect. They were talking about, Bill Cosby was the father of my child, but then a couple months later you don't hear anything about it. And so it's the matter of if it happened, there has to be some proof, but there also has to be a statute of limitations, because if I do something to wrong you, go ahead and confront me at that time. But again, you can't come at me 20 years later, 30 or 40 years later, talking about, you did this, but it's like, because again, it could just be conjecture. You're just making that up because you want to. Doesn't mean it's true. And even if it is true, it's the matter of proof. The burden of proof is on all of these women in order to prove and show that it actually happened. Because for all we know, you could just be saying it just because.
Fair enough. We weren't there. Some of these accusations are 40 years old.
Right.
Up until about 10, 15 years old. So, what do you believe? We weren't there. We didn't see it. I'm sticking to I didn't see it.
Right.
And if I didn't see it, Am I saying women don't get raped? No, ladies. I am not saying that you do not get raped. That rape doesn't exist.
But we are saying that if you
I
get
will
raped,
never say that.
you need to report it, and you need to take the proper steps to make sure that the perpetrator is taken off
You
the
need
streets.
to report this shit when it happens. Not 3 years, not 6 months. Do it when it happens. I know it might cause you some inconvenience. You might lose your job. You might have problems with people, but you got to do what you got to do. Think about your kids.
Yeah. It's
Think about
definitely a
other
good
things.
thing here for that.
Think about it. We want you to be safe.
Yeah. So again, spring break is a great time for everybody to unwind. Let their hair down. Again, both of us are in school. Working
Yeah.
towards our degree. So we appreciate this time off.
Definitely.
To go ahead and film, reach out to you, and so that's why this week we're definitely doing a short episode because we don't want to hold you up. We know you're probably partying too much to even probably pay attention to this, and if you are watching this, you're probably drunk out your face right now. So we want to go ahead and say thank you again for tuning in to this episode. Are You Up and Serious? Again, I want you to have a great one. Be safe. Again, wrap it up. If you go somewhere, again, remember that the adventure is with you and not the place. And if you are going to engage in the threesome, make sure it's consensual and go ahead and make sure you wrap it up.
Hallelujah.
All right. And so next time, this is Tex.
Jersey. And we're out.
Y'all be good.